What is up, YouTube? It's Stoober here. Welcome to episode 6 of The Take. And in this episode, we are going to be only slightly brushing on Season 10, what's coming, what my expectations are, some of the nerfs, some of the changes, all that wonderful, wonderful stuff. We're going to start with the obvious one. Trials of Osiris is making its return. Now, for someone who isn't a massive PvP player, never really has been, I'm still cautiously excited. Back in the days of Destiny 1, I never really ran it that much. I ran it every now and then. Mainly used LFG groups, just because I didn't really have people to play with. I consider myself a better player than I was back then, and plus I do have a lot of friends that play the game, so I am cautiously excited. What worries me about it coming back is all the stuff I'm seeing on social media right now. The hackers, the cheaters, the DDoSers. I saw today, today is Monday the 2nd of March, I saw today on Twitter someone with a fully auto Beloved and a fully auto Golden Gun just running absolute chaos in Crucible and in Gambit. It's something that needs to be addressed. There needs, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, there needs to be some form of anti-cheat software implemented. Otherwise, it's just going to be, for better use of a word, a clusterfuck. It's not going to be good. It's going to be bad. I want it to work. I want it to be good. I'm looking forward to getting my team, or a team of people, like I said, are really, really close friends, having fun. Not at the point where we're going to be sweaty all the time and constantly going for flawless, but I want to have at least a shot at it. And I think we have a shot at it, providing we don't get matched with anything dodgy like DDoSers and hackers. So they're my concerns. Not so much the weapons that are getting used, but the people that just want to ruin the game for everybody else. Because Trials of Osiris is a fun game mode. It can be sweaty the more bad that you do. But it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be competitive. It's not supposed to sort of, if you cheat at it, you're a piece of garbage. That's basically is what I'm saying. And then we're just gonna brush over that. I've explained I'm cautiously excited over it. A few people are. The armor looks good. Granted, it's the original. I think it's the original armor coming back, but it looks good. I can't wait to see some of the weapons. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm really excited. Sniper nerf. The elephant in the room, the sniper, the nerf to snipers is not a good idea. Personal opinion, and from what I've gathered, the majority of opinions from the community is the sniper nerf that's coming is bad. I get it, granted, Izanagi's Burden has seen a massive increase in use, especially when they released the catalyst for it. But, like, we had a conversation with my group, and how are you meant to do relatively good damage to bosses without using a relatively good ranged weapon? And snipers were always that good ranged weapon. Whether it be in Izanagi's or Whisper of the Worm is another prime example. Whisper of the Worm has been nerfed, but it's still viable to be used in like a raid when you've got a boss with a massive crit spot. A firing line sniper, the nerf isn't good. In my personal opinion, the nerf is not good. There are little subclass tweaks. God, my Erentil's finally getting a nerf, which I knew was coming, I expected was coming, and fully support that it's coming. It doesn't make me happy about it, but it's a broken gun. It needed its tweaking. But it's not just Erentil, it's all high impact. I believe it's all fusions. It needed it. It really did. And that's me as an Erentil main user with like 2,500 kills in PvP, which, like I say, I don't play PvP that often. I grind it usually for the pinnacle weapons, and then that's it. I'm maybe playing Mayhem or Iron Banner. So, Sniper nerf bad. Fusion / Erentil nerf needed. What else? We're getting a few subclass tweaks. I believe Bottom Tree Night Stalker is getting a tweak. I believe Bottom Tree Voidwalker is getting a tweak. I haven't really read too much into those, but that's exciting because I like running Bottom Tree Night Stalker in PvE. Not so much PvP, but more PvE. And Bottom Tree Voidwalker was always my... Well, I always prefer to run it. I don't like running Slover. I don't like running Nova Warp. I prefer to run Bottom Tree with Devour, whether it's PvE or PvP. So they're interesting tweaks coming. Titans. Shoulder Charge is getting a nerf. Now... it's getting a tweak. I don't know whether it's so much a nerf. It's getting a tweak. The targeting is getting adjusted, and I think something else is getting adjusted. Like I say, I've not read too much into what tweaks are actually coming towards it. But I don't think it's in this video I've got in the background. But there was one instance last week. I was playing. I think I was just playing. Was I playing comp? I can't remember. I might have been playing comp. I might have been playing normal classic mix. I shoulder charged the guy in the back of the head twice. He took no damage, but it made the sound as if it connected. So it made the the melee sound as if you'd connected with something, and he just buggered off, dodged away like hunters do, turned around and managed to get the better of me and killed me. So again, something that's going to be interesting. I'm not going to bitch about changes until we actually get to next Tuesday, Season 10, and see exactly how the changes affect the game. The Season Pass. I think the XP received on seasonal content and the Season Pass needs adjusting. Personal opinion. I've got friends who, I'm a bounty hunter. I will just get shitloads of bounties. I will turn them in. The whole obelisk thing with this season has helped because you can just farm for XP using that. What else is coming that I need? I should have probably been sensible enough to bring the last week's TWAB up. So just bear with me a second while I do. There we go. Last week's TWAB. Come on. There we go. Yeah, we know Osiris coming back. Right. There we go. Subclass changes. Warlock melee. Warlocks have been disadvantaged melee fights because it takes slightly longer than Titans to recover from making a melee attack, which it really does. They're extending the melee range to a total of 5.5 meters. They will still be slower than other classes, but they'll have a 1 meter advantage, so you can use that window. First melee attack of a slap fight. Victorious. So they're extending the range of Warlock melees. Again, it's something that I don't really have an opinion on. It's something that I will wait and see how it affects it in PvP. As someone who does like to play Warlock every now and then, I mean, it's irrelevant for top tree Dawnblades because they shoot the melee out of the hand. But anyway, so that's that change. Titan Barricades. Getting a health increase from 500 to 600. But now the barricades will take extra damage from special weapons and anti-barrier rounds and certain heavies. 30% extra damage to barricades on snipers, grenade launchers, linear fusions, machine guns, trace rifles, and any anti-barrier weapons. And 60% extra damage with shotguns and fusions. Nobody wants to use the special ammo on a frigging barricade. Let me put it like that. Nobody wants to go and use a fusion blast or a sniper shot or a shotgun on a barricade. If I'm running the hand cannon, I want to be able to take that barricade out with my hand cannon. I don't want to have to rip out a shotgun or sniper and start hitting it with that. Again, not going to bitch about it because we don't know exactly how it's going to play out until the new content drops. So we'll wait and see. One-shot abilities. The weighted knife. The tuning the risk-reward factor of one-shot abilities They commented that it looks extreme on paper, but they want to make sure the abilities retain the overall feel. Shoulder charge abilities, I did touch on that a bit earlier, but we're going to touch on it again. They've reduced the auto-targeting angle by 50%. They could previously auto-target to make an instant 90-degree turn, so they've reduced that. And they've adjusted the lunge distance to 5.5 meters for targeted and untargeted lunges. Targeted lunges was previously 6, untargeted was previously 4.5. So they've put a middle ground in with the lunges for the shoulder charge. Again, not something I can really comment on until we actually see it in action and see what it does. The weighted knives, they reduced the tracking significantly and created a new tracking tech that makes the knives more faithful in the initial throw trajectory. Handheld Supernova. Right, handheld Supernova, the bane of the PvP, the crutch for middle tree void warlocks. And it is a crutch. The amount of people I've seen hiding behind... If people play aggressively, fine. It's the people that sit around the corners and have it just in the hand, ready to go. I don't like it. I think it's a... I'm going to comment it now. It's a bitch move. If you sit behind the corner with a Warlock Supernova, it's a bitch move. It's as simple as that. If you're aggressive with it, I don't have a problem with it. I've seen a guy called Nem Plays. He's aggressive with it. He doesn't sit behind corners. He's aggressive with it, and he does make some good plays with it. So, they are tweaking this quite a lot by the look. They are also tuning Controverse holds, which there is no information yet on what that tune's going to be. But they've increased the activation time by 0.6 seconds. They've reduced the hold time, so the amount of time that you can actually hold the thing in, but they've reduced it by 1 second from 3.5 to 2. They've reduced the range by 20%, which means you can't just sit and map people off with it. They've tightened the spread of the bolts by 25, so it won't... If there's 3 people in a sort of spread out line, it's not going to take all 3 people out. And it will now damage the Warlock if he's too close. And they've reduced the radius from 3 to 2.5 meters. That's going to be an interesting change. It could be worth just again something not really commenting on until we actually see it in action. To compensate the change, the middle tree Voidwalker path are being buffed. Nova Warp Super has increased damage resistance and a longer duration and reduced blink cost. Now, this is what I think the problem with it was when it first came out. It was overpowered, and I think they reverted it back. So, again, can't really have an opinion on it until we see how it plays out next season. They go on to say the general subclass tunings, some core top, striker bottom, and archrider bottom have remained dominant in PvP. They've also ranked top in PvE paths in terms of kill per minute. They've adjusted the paths and others to bring them closer to the middle of the pack. Voidwalker bottom, Night Stalker bottom, and Middle Tree Striker are taking steps to be lifted up to the middle of the pack. Apparently, they go on to say, in the spirit of transparency, we take no joy in nerfing abilities, weapons, and armor that we still love to use. Wish to answer, keep the same game balanced and fresh as always to buff the underperforming elements. Such an approach leads to a power creep, the slow and steady increase of average power of everything in the game, which trivializes the incredible game modes and encounters that the other teams of Bungie work hard to create. And they're making Trip Mine sticky again. So, there's another change. The next thing I'm going to discuss in this video is infusion caps. In the director's cut that Luke Smith brought out from the Forsaken thing, there was mention of they're going to be capping certain legendaries. They've not mentioned which legendaries they are, whether they're going to be year 1 ones or what. They haven't sort of decided that yet, I don't think, or they haven't announced it. But I'm concerned. For example, if I like to use the Midnight Coup, perfectly prime example. Midnight Coup is a year 1 raid reward. It is a great hand cannon. It is a superb hand cannon. I like to use it in PvE. Not so much in PvP, but definitely like to use it in PvE. The fact that I can't now infuse that up to like the level I want to use it at, it does make me, it pisses me off a little bit. I don't know, a lot of people. I suppose there's two ways to look at it, really. There's that way, with the basically going to tell you can't use this gun, you can't infuse this gun past this light level, and this gun past that light level. But it'll also encourage people to use the newer weapons. I suppose there's two ways to look at it. But, and I've said this in previous videos before, do something with the old raids. Make the old raid weapons random rolls. You've done it with the armor. The armor's 2.0. You go into any old Leviathan raid, the armor always drops at armor 2.0. Why can't we have the raid weapons updated with random rolls? I would love to have a Midnight Coup with random rolls. I would love to have an inaugural address with random rolls. Alone as a God with random rolls. So much potential you could use there. After year 3 of Destiny 1, and I know I keep doing it, I keep going back to Destiny 1, and we know Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 are not the same game. They're not. But last year Destiny 1, when they did the Age of Triumph, they had a weekly raid, or weekly raid challenge, or however you want to call it. And they brought the raid to, it was always a 390. And your white level was tapped at 400. So why not bring the old lev raids up to a pinnacle level? So let's say your pinnacle drops is maxed out at 970. Sorry, it's 970. 970. So it's going to be 980, I reckon, next season. So why not have the Leviathan on week 1 drop pinnacle gear at 980 with random rolled weapons? Eater of Worlds, week 2, pinnacle raid, random rolled weapons. Do something like that. Make the old raids playable. No one wants to do. I still don't have a Terabyte, and I'm struggling to find people that actually want to physically get out and do a Crown of Sorrow raid, because no one enjoys the raid, and there's no benefit for anybody to do it. Do you know what I mean? They may end up doing this at the end of the year. They may end up doing this at the end of the year, but it's just my opinion. I think that I'm cautiously excited is the word I'm looking for Season 10, Destiny 2. Trials of Osiris, I'm hoping Bungie put some sort of anti-cheat system in, because if not, that's just going to be a mess. I want to play it. I want to enjoy it. I want to get them 2 buddies and just go for it. Regardless whether we get flawless or not is irrelevant. Just want to have fun. But the fun stops when people start cheating. When people start cheating with auto snipers and DDoSing and teleporting and stuff like that. We need an anti-cheat software in, and I hope they have done, because they made a quick turnaround with the artifact. They initially said the artifact power level is gonna be enabled in Trials of Osiris. They made a really quick turnaround with that, and they listened to the community. Listen to the community. We need anti-cheat software. But that is going to do it, pretty much, I think, for this video and this episode of The Take. You can catch me live, Twitch, most nights a week. I'll leave the description link in the description below. Let me know in the comments. What are you excited for? What are you nervous for? What are you looking forward to? What do you think they could do? Obviously not this season. Next season. I'm looking forward to any information they bring out this week. I'm looking forward to this week's TWAB, just to see what is actually coming. Cautiously excited is the word I keep using, and I'm going to keep using it, because that's exactly what I am. I am cautiously excited. That's going to do it for this episode of The Take. I have been Stoober. I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day.